As part of my 12-week isolation, I put playing solo on Rust as one of my things to do. Going back to the game, that means fighting sleep against a clan of monster-drinking 14-year-olds just sounded too appealing to miss out on. I missed the full-time job of Rust like I missed the plague, but I was determined to do this. Unfortunately for me, after hours of recording, my retarded self didn't realize I didn't have my microphone on in shadow play, so you're stuck with this autistic robot instead. My strategy was simple. I had watched a lot of epic solo Snowball to Elite stacked owning the server videos to hype myself up for the task in hand. In reality, I knew I was more likely to be trapped in a 1x1 for 3 hours while an 18-year-old virgin door camped me to claim my 5 hemp seed and 20 wood. However, it was the fucking land shark that would be first to claim my life. Not to be put off by my needless death, I quickly farmed some vital resources with my handy multi-tool rock. Chasing sparkles round rocks and non-existent crosses on trees, I was in my farming element, and already looking forward to building my triple-stacked bunker base that I had been planning for over 4 days. In reality, because I'm lazy and keep playing League of Legends between recording, I was more realistically going to end up in a 2x1 tinder box. Knowing that night time was slowly approaching, I knew this would be my best time to get my 200 IQ starter base down. The black screen that was approaching me would give me the elevated FPS I needed to act fast, and the knowledge that no fucker can see anything at night gave me the chance I needed. As I knew would happen, my lazy ass resorted to the normal 2x1 starter base, and all thoughts of making the epic base I wanted to quickly went out the window. I was fine by this because I had recently watched a stacked decayed base gave me endgame loot video and thought it would be easier than farming this shit up. Unfortunately for me, I had forgotten that I had the PvP skill of a newborn goat and somehow recently died to a chicken, so this will be home for the foreseeable. Now that my epic shit shack was complete, as always I was starting to starve, so I quickly ran over to the closest monument I could find. Lucky for me, I remembered how I used to make ends meet and entered the male's toilet, where I knew I would find me a sausage or two to munch on. Now that my stomach had stopped eating itself, it was time to get my epic adventure back on track. Because I was living in a hyper-efficient tinder box, farming resources wasn't too important for now, so I decided that I would run around aimlessly looking for that sweet decayed base all the YouTube videos has promised. Knowing that the treasure of good was soon to be mine, I quickly started dreaming of epic raids and full chests of sulfur. I wasn't too interested on obtaining an AK, as my recoil ability for it means I would only put holes in the clouds, as I can control the fucking thing. I decided to scope out the area around me to see if there was any role-player solo bases that I could steal epic mad loot from, when I noticed a tragic placement of a high wooden gate. Knowing that the majority of players are retarded, I knew this would help me in my quest. Jumping up the rock, I noticed someone had renovated these poor chaps' base and gave it a sunroof access point. Being like a fly to a pile of shit, I quickly decided I was going to enter this hole to investigate further. I quickly mentally prepared myself, as I knew this was my time to shine. Me, the shit role-player base builder, had finally done it. I had found a potential gold mine, and the epic video titles came rushing to me as I quickly looked through the boxes. This was the kind of endgame loot even Jordan Rants would be proud of. But as usual, the game had other fucking ideas. Not to be put off by my little automated base defender, I noticed it was only to one side, so I returned and outsmarted the little bugger. To my surprise, the tool cupboard was before me in all its glory. However, the cheeky little shit had made external ones that took over this one. I slowly creeped in and used my ninja skills to hop under the shelves and proceeded to yeet the living hell out of my cold-blooded murderer. It was then I was able to really begin my epic looting session, and the snowball began. This was just how the videos had showed it, and all the epic loot was to be mine. To my surprise, whoever had created the sunroof access was either a role player or a retard, because he missed all the epic Chad loot. This made me think that I could now make a large rock penis base and spend my time on the server shooting new spawns from my window and type get good scrub endlessly in game chat. I decided I should probably bank the large haul of loot back in my tinderbox base, which I would now make into a solid stone fortress with the stone I had acquired from the raid. Now my 2x1 was looking more epic and sturdy. I remembered there was a locked box in the first room I entered, so I would return and claim the final box of loot and continue my domination of the server. At the back of my mind I knew there was one more of those little face-melting traps to guide myself past, and I knew I would have to be smart and cunning and yeet the absolute shit out of it. Only then would I finally see what was in that locked box, and my dreams of 100,000 Rust Expert subscribers was going to happen. I too would soon have the expert advice of those who are elite at the game, but don't even own a fucking PC. To my amazement, the box contained the most high-powered sniper rifle in the game, which was great, but I had two problems. 1. I was as much use as tits on a fish with it, and 2. I didn't have any windows in my shit shack to endlessly shoot passing players. With my emotions of joy and fear running high, I quickly ran back to my skid mark of a base to safely bank my loot. Knowing that no one would bother raiding my stacked shit shack apart from a 10-year-old fresh spawn with a jackhammer that he found in a box moments prior to raiding my base with it, I decided to log off and take my chances.